Success is not the absence of failure, it's persistence through failure. Aisha Tyler. My friends, each and every day, 10 to 15 minutes. Don't worry about how long it takes to master the markets, because once you do, it'll be worth every single second you ever spent. We see stocks and Bitcoin down, bonds and gold up. Nothing moving much today. I mean, Bitcoin being down 2.27% compared to 11 something percent up, earlier. Again, we'll continue to push through these charts and help you figure out what is going on. Let's jump first into the S&P 500. We can see it's down for the day 0.18%. We saw we reached the high last week. Now, that high we didn't reach until Thursday of last week. Things were lackluster at the beginning and then started moving up some on Wednesday. And then Thursday morning, bam! Don't know what this week has in store for us. Sort of starting off kind of the same, sort of trending down. We shall see at some point, my friends, market's going to stop moving. Now, this latest bound up with that average volume, could it be the top? Sure, it could be. But we saw the possibility before, and what did it do? It went from an opening, let's just do the high, 473.67 to 524.11. So again, we're not calling a top at any point until everything sets up and we actually see that occurring. And why would it stop going up? If the government just keeps printing money, that is changing decimals on a sheet, that is the Treasury or the Fed's sheet, and we just keep flooding the economy with money, wouldn't you expect real things to go up in value when you have more dollars chasing them? Of course you would. That's what inflation is. It's blowing the balloon up, which is the economy with lots and lots more money backed by nothing. Now, we see, again, a little bit of a pullback. This is the Tuesday candle, and again, it's the Tuesday-Wednesday candle, and of course, this is the first day of the latest two-day candle, and it's pretty flat. Little bit of movement on top, not much going on there. Volume, not up to halfway to the average yet. We look at where things were in the morning, tried to get a little up movement there, and then rolling over down in the afternoon with average volume. So we'll wait, watch, and see. Not a lot to report there. Much different in the Qs. Again, not reaching the high of last week. A somewhat similar candle there. Very flat trend at this point. Very similar on the 2-day. And of course, up in the morning, down in the afternoon, higher than average volume. In the afternoon, down 0.32%. Again, not much going on. Sort of similar to what we saw after we had that big gain there starting in November and at the beginning of the year, sliding sideways and then popping up. We saw another sideways slide back there in mid to the end of February and then things popping up. So let's just see where this takes us. We're still long, both the S&P and the NASDAQ 100. What's up with bonds? They're up a little bit, 0.28%. As we've been saying, we got nothing to call on bonds because it's not telling us anything. Lackluster volume, lackluster movement, sort of up and down and all around. How can we track that? You can't. What we need is good charts. We need charts that really tell us what's going on, like smashing down with higher than average volume on a nice red down candle, giving that intermediate low, and then popping around with a green spinning top, and then hammering up. Of course, what we like to see is that kind of volume telling us when we've hit highs, when we've hit lows, and then we can track it on our weekly chart. And you might say, Tom, can't you do stuff like that on the 2-day and the half-day? You can, but again, I don't want to be day trading. I'm not going to sit here all day long and watch what's going on. I want to trade on the big chart for big money in my practice trades. And again, I remind you guys all the time, we're not a stock calling service, not a Bitcoin gold or bond calling service. We're an education firm, but we want you to practice trade with us. Learn good habits, learn how to read charts. And then, of course, as you move through time and garner the skill sets you need to trade successfully, You can make up your own mind how to spend your money later. But doing it beforehand is throwing money away. Go to Vegas. You can see some shows. You can lose your money and have a lot more fun than sitting around in your pajamas watching it just fritter away. Okay, that's where we are with bonds. Nothing much. Let's look at gold, up 0.32%. Now we see where gold popped up last week. Last week, where we popped up to the intermediate high of 203.92. And of course, we can see on Thursday morning where that occurred, where things popped up, and then sort of moving down sideways, up a little bit. Since then, not up to the high of last week, but again, we had a high back on the week beginning March the 4th. Then things slowed down. And then we had things pop up last week. This week, don't know where we're going. Are we going to get up to the high of last week? Is gold sputtering out? Can't tell you. It started off, we had this red volume candle last week. Remember, red volume candle for us simply means the opening is below the prior candle's close. That's what that meant last week. Doesn't mean you have negative volume. It just lets you know where the opening and the close were. So we saw that, and again, did not really do anything until Wednesday afternoon and Thursday morning, and then just sort of, puttered on off since then. But you can see on the half-day chart where gold was just sort of slowly winding down for many, many days. You can see the 4 days in here where you just had almost dojis there, and then, you had things pop up there on that Wednesday, Thursday candle. So what do we see going on right now? Not a lot. Look at the volume 2 days in. Could we get up to average volume this week? Yeah. Could we have another pop? Yeah. Are we still long gold? Yeah, but not super excited about it. But that's where we are. And all we can do is use the charts to tell us where we are. And again, when we have volume, when we have candles that support telling us what's actually happening, we can use that for our practice trading. Now, where are we on Bitcoin? Okay, that's about the crappiest trend line. I could draw you a flat trend line. I don't have a trend line. I guess I could connect this. What does that do for you? I can go back to last 2 weeks ago, and of course, we've gone off that. What I have for you on Bitcoin, not a whole lot. We saw where Bitcoin, climbed to its highest highs yet at $83.36, of course, on the 24-hour a day Bitcoin chart. That was $73,794. It is off that. It is up for the day, 0.21% on 24-hour a day Bitcoin. And of course, we use this because of our new ETF that we have been tracking. Doesn't give us average volume on the weekly. It does now on the 2-day. We got to get 20 periods in here because we have a 20-period volume set on all these charts for our volume measurement to give us the average, because we like to compare averages. That's always very helpful to be able to show you like how powerful the volume is, because we use volume a lot here. So as we look at what Bitcoin is up to right now, maybe we can connect a little bit. No, it still doesn't do hardly anything for you. It's just hard to draw a trend line when you don't have one. But we are waiting to see what Bitcoin is going to do. Of course, we had several days of down movement on the 2-day chart. And then we've had this latest one pop up for us. This is a 24-hour a day chart, so it is a Monday, Tuesday. Finished drawing today on the 2-day. On our ETF, it is a Wednesday. It's a Tuesday, Wednesday chart, so this still has another day to draw. We do see, yesterday, lots of up movement in Bitcoin, and today we have some down movement. We have a green candle there. We've had a lot of blow off in steam, and we're just waiting to see if Bitcoin's going to reset itself and start moving. But again, how do you recover from that kind of blowout? You can, but it really is a huge blow off of that steam. Don't know if it's going to recover from that. It may very well. What is the high right now? The high, 71,572. as compared to the 73,794. So we'll continue to wait, watch, and see on Bitcoin. It is a different animal, and we'll wait, watch, and see on our Bitcoin ETF. Hard to make much of a call there for you. That's where we are as we end the day on Tuesday, as we've again entered into another interesting week with the markets. We always appreciate you being with us. We love to hear from you. Don't hesitate to reach out to us, cw@chartingwealth.com. You have questions, problems, concerns. We always like to hear from you. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.